Hello everyone, Voodoo here, happy Friday, and today we are here as promised with the first Demon Hunter sim video for 11.1. Now, these sims are very early, there are lots of things that will change still, and there are bugs present in them, making things a little weird. Honestly, between the time when I first made the sims and this video, we found a sim bug with Unbound Chaos, so the numbers have changed. But we're in a point now where the sims are more stable, still bugged, but we're making this video to give you a bit of an idea of what to expect in the next patch. So with that out of the way, let's just get right on to it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Liking helps the video, subscribing helps the channel, and I'm pushing for 15,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So let's get on to it. All right, everybody, here we are with the Sims. So we're gonna start off with Prometheus. So this is Fel Scarred, which is the current tree we're playing on live. 2.402 million DPS. Now this is the most up-to-date sim as of February 6th at 4:14 p.m. Things might change. In fact, we just recently, last night, found a bug with Unbound Chaos and Fellblade, which was making it do way more damage than it should have. So a little down from there. But this is post Sigil of Flame Misery buff nerfs, and the reduction of Cycle of Hatred to 1 point is when I'm making this video. So first things first, look at the talent tree. So this is the current best simming Fel Scarred talent tree. Now this is a bit of a monster. Now of course the highest simming one does not take darkness, but you can easily swap that out. Soul Sigils is not that big of a loss. It is a loss, but not by a large amount, because then you have to hold Sigil of Misery still for Student of Suffering. And yeah, this is a bit of a monster, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So what's happening here is that we're taking all these talents down here. Now again, cycle being 1 point, wonderful. I actually really like this. Helps a lot in actually pathing down here. We are not taking the glaive package at all. We're not even taking Trail Ruin. And the reason for that is that this build does not push Blade Dance, not even a little bit. Isolated Prey, some of the I-Beam talents, you're still taking Dancing with Fate to come down to Serrated Glaive. If Serrated Glaive wasn't on here, you would just take 2 Blind Fury, of course. But this is very much just Chaos Strike dot build. And you're probably wondering, that's weird. I thought Chaos Strike would get a lot worse after Any Means Necessary was removed. Well, they buffed this up to 50%, and they also increased the effectiveness that Mastery has for us, which means that, yes, while, this was removed from Any Means Necessary, it got buffed up. They buffed Chaos Strike even more by Enduring Torment. They buffed up how much Mastery scaling you get from your Mastery stat, which is part of the reason why they nerfed Student of Suffering. And all that just kind of contributes to a build where Chaos Strike does a lot of damage. So much damage, in fact, that this build does not push Blade Dance even once. So if we look down this breakdown here, there is not a single instance of Blade Dance being pushed. 49 Chaos Strikes, 0 Blade Dances. Now, it's not that large of a deal because you still use Death Sweep. Death Sweep, very, very strong. Roughly 70% stronger than a Blade Dance, as opposed to Annihilation, which is only 30% stronger than a Chaos Strike. Of course, in this that's, they're less than that because of the stupid talents I don't like. But it's there. So this build is very much purely single target. Now you do have obviously AoE cleave from Demon Surge and from the beams and Inner Demon, and Havoc just naturally has a lot of cleave. But this build has a lot less cleave than the Aldrachi Reaver build, which we'll cover after I talk about this one. So currently this one is far behind. Generally speaking, 2.5 million is around where the middle of the pack is. If you're 2.4 or lower, you're in a bad spot. If you're 2.7 or higher, you are really good. It's currently the sims for single target. Now tuning will probably happen. But yeah, other things about this, we're taking Shadow Destiny. So a little bit of a haste stuff in there. It's been a demon form a lot. And then just some of the other I-Beam nodes, I-Beam trucks with New Cycle, and then some of the Chaos Strike stuff. So rotationally, nothing changes that much, except the fact that you are triggering inertia with Fellblade now, so you never Fel Rush in any circumstance. Well, this one you will Fel Rush sometimes, because not all the time will you have Fellblade available. So 23 casts of Fellblade, 4 casts of Fel Rush. But most of the time you will have Fellblade available to use to trigger your inertia. For Aldrachi Reaver, you will always have Fellblade, so you don't Fel Rush with that build. This one you will Fel Rush every now and then. So if we scroll through here, no Fel Rushes at all here. We'll go till we hit the first one. There we go, first one. So Vengeful Retreat happened. Fellblade happened a bit before it. There was no reset. Just the way the cookie crumbles. Nothing else really to say about that in terms of just actually getting your damage done in this build. pretty straightforward. You literally are just pushing Chaos Strike until you get back to I-Beam, and then you use Death Sweep and Chaos Strike again. And you push Chaos Strike till you're back to I-Beam, and so on and so forth. You're in meta for a lot of the fight. We go up here. You're in meta for 72% of the fight, which is kind of funny because of 20-second I-Beam and because of the fact that we have Shattered Destiny, so you can extend it a lot. So this will be a good mix of, like, if you like that classic kind of lots of I-Beams, stay in meta a lot, demon stuff from back in BFA, whatever, but you also like kind of the newer stuff with the inertia, things like that. You'll probably like this build and this playstyle. Inertia feels a lot better up, by the way, being a trigger off of Vengeful Retreat and Hunt. Rather than Immolation Aura. In terms of gear, the gear set is the same for both. Now, this gear set is from back before we were even using Chaotic Disposition, back when this was 2 points and Unbound Chaos was bugged. So this probably could be redone, but big hits right now. We're not using the Fist weapon. It's just not worth it at the moment in time. The proc isn't that strong. And we are using a trinket from Delves. This trinket is crazy strong. Try and pick this one up. Just the way a cookie crumbles. There are other options in single target that are close to this, which I'll cover in like a future video, but for the time being, this is just a crazy trinket. Other thing of note, we are using the NG Helm for crit. Crit is very, very strong here. If you look up the full HTML report, I'll show you the stats. Again, they'll be the same for both builds, so I'm not going to show you again the stats for Aldrachi Reaver, but scrolling down here to our stats section, and it is mostly critical strike, roughly 23,000 crit, which gives you roughly 42%. 7,000 haste, 4,000 verse, and roughly 12,000 mastery. So stats right now are just stack as much critical strike as you possibly can with some good mastery stuff as well. And damage profile up here. Still have some of the peaks here with your I-Beam, but considering that it happens every 20 seconds now, pretty much like a flat thing with some little valleys. It's not really like the best damage profile, because honestly, you actually need a good amount of uptime now because of how much damage was taken out of Demon Surges and put into the Burning Blades with all those buffs, but you know, it is what it is. So that is it for Fel Scarred. Now moving on to Aldrachi Reaver, which is significantly higher, 2.688 million DPS. So it's roughly 10% higher than Fel Scarred, and this sim is full of bugs. So right now, Wounded Quarry is not here at all. Like not even like damage does not show up on this thing at all here. The Wounded Quarry is very powerful. Read it here, causing your target of your Reaver's Mark to take 20% of all physical damage you deal to any target as chaos. So you'll take 20% of any physical damage, buff it by your mastery, and then deal it to that target, which is stupidly powerful. It's probably one of the best funnel talents that have ever existed in the game. So this has stupidly strong, really powerful funnel, which is really good. So showing the build here is a lot more like what people thought we'd be playing. You have all the glaive stuff. Otherwise, it's like the exact same build. Less I-Beam talents. Of course, you don't have Abyssal Gaze, so I-Beam's less damage here. And you're not spamming Chaos Strike until the cows come home. So Critical Chaos, Improved Chaos Strike. The node here, Chaos Theory. The one that gives you more Chaos Strikes. They're not taken. But we do come down and take Trail of Ruin, and we take Deflecting Dance. Because again, we actually do use Blade Dance in this build pretty often. And Trail of Ruin is just a pretty powerful, just passive damage option. That goes with mastery. And of course, we need to take Deflecting Dance to take Furious Throws. And Furious Throws, stupidly strong with this build. Tons of glaive stuff here. So look at the breakdown. Annihilation, Death Sweep are at top, which you'd expect. Soul Scar, 12.2%. This is very strong. Soul Scar is the glaive damage. Reaver's Glaive at 5%, and then the rest of your throw glaives down here at 1.4%. So pretty good stuff, honestly. Reaver's Glaive was just fixed to actually work with Inertia and Exergy now, which is great. And you just throw a ton of glaives. You have a ton of free cleave, and you have actually pretty good burst damage as well with your Essence Break, with your 20-second I-Beam, and just with Reaver's Glaive. Now, they have fixed some of the problems that Aldrachi Reaver was having, where Wounded Quarry and Cycle of Hatred, the old versions, really required you to stick on your target and have like 100% uptime. Them changing that means that it's like not as important anymore, and it feels a lot better, honestly. Just like you don't really have to stick on your target 100% of the time, and you can really feel that difference, and it feels a lot better to play. Now, the other big bug here that's missing is Preemptive Strike. You can see here 0 hits somehow for less than 1 million damage. On testing, we're still not 100% sure if this should hit your primary target or not. We don't really know. If it does, then great, this should be doing way more damage. If it doesn't, then you'll just swap to the Fury one. Even though we already are swimming in Fury with this build, this doesn't do anything to a single target, who cares? But It procs from every single glaive, even the small glaives that come off your blade dance, even the ones you throw from your death sweep throw glaive thing here. So a lot of damage there from the throw glaives that's just missing on this tree. And of course, there's Wounded Quarry. Wounded Quarry would add about 200,000. I don't know how much Preemptive Strike would add. 4% would put us roughly like up in the millions. So probably in a pretty good spot here for Havoc Demon Hunter in terms of Aldrachi Reaver. Gear is the same. Rotation is pretty straightforward. We go back to the old opener, the I-Beam, Fellblade Annihilation, Essence Break, Death Sweep, Meta Death Sweep. Reason for this is just for to have Essence Break line up better with future I-Beams, and also just to have your buffs up on the final Death Sweep as you do your little combo here. So far, not worth it to swap Inner Demon over to Restless Hunter. Could be a world where that happens. We haven't simmed it, but honestly, Inner Demon with 20-second I-Beam is pretty good. Other than that, the only other big difference is you are using Aldrachi Reaver's Glaive stuff just to keep up as much of these buffs as you can. So it turns into a bit of a buff maintenance. Now, you have enough of these glaives where it's really not that big of a deal. I still would like to get the buff on maybe glaive cast rather than combo finish, but again, it's like really not that big of a deal. You have pretty good uptime. You have a lot of Reaver's Glaives just like through Soul Generation, even though they nerfed it. So it feels pretty good. Doesn't feel too busy. And the cooldowns honestly line up pretty well. This is a little weird one, but you're not really holding stuff. You're kind of just sending things as you can and just keeping up through all the fight as much as possible just to keep that damage rolling. But rotationally, not too complex as well. If you played Havoc recently, you'll play well with this one. So this is a little more complex than Fel Scarred, but the damage is there. Even bugged, it's 10% higher. Probably not bugged, it'll be even higher than that. So there you go. If you don't want to make things simpler, Exergy instead of Inertia, which I can't change right here, but it's just like a passive buff that just exists all the time, basically, as long as you use Tactical Retreat. It's like 2% less, so it's pretty chill there. But yeah, there you go. Those are single target sims. So tier set's still pretty bad, but Havoc in general with Aldrachi Reaver is looking quite good. And again, if you didn't like Aldrachi Reaver in Season 1, it is better. I would say to give it a try. Havoc in general feels a lot better with the changes they've made. I still think there's lots to do with the spec, but this being 1 point, this being like a working functional talent, Inertia being up here and proccing off of Vengeful Retreat and the Hunt feels great. You don't actually ever hold anything in this build, so it's not like Fel Scarred where you're holding like 2 different buttons for your meta windows every time. And they feel pretty good, pretty fun, and I actually am looking forward to the next patch. And also, I guess, being a mole person to try and get this trinket. But yeah, so that's an early look at Sims. We will try and keep these as updated as we can. I'll try and keep them pinned in the Havoc Demon Hunter Discord and also in my own Discord if you have questions about them. But yeah, I don't know. There you go. That is it for the video. No AoE sims. There is no AoE APL yet, so we literally cannot sim an AoE. Once those are available and included, I'll make another video, just as we normally do. But yeah, probably an Aldrachi Reaver season, I have to imagine. We'll see how tuning comes in, but right now it is quite far ahead. Again, we'll see when Reaver's Mark Wounded Quarry is fixed. We'll see when Preemptive Strike works or not. But that's the gist for Havoc right now in terms of sim DPS in single target. Weird stuff. Fel Scarred no blade dance is kind of fucked. But I actually do like Aldrachi Reaver, and I think it is going to be the real deal. So there you go. That's the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys probably tomorrow on Saturday. I'll be doing a stream. I don't know what exactly. Other than that, will be a video on Monday. So thank you all for watching. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all the support. And let's get hype here. Well, a little more hype here as we go into the new patch in 11.1. Probably coming out at the end of the month, which is exciting. So thank you everybody so much. See you guys next time. Peace. A big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you, Alexander Trifunovic, Zuligan, Fear Redefined, Indiga, Gabrielle Correa, Magic Man 133, Falafadarn, Dark Terror, and Skyelt. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. If you want to become a channel member and get some exclusive perks and just help support me in making some content, there's a link down below. Otherwise, though, I just appreciate you all so much, and thank you for watching.